Brad, I wanted to get your reaction to officially becoming the Eastern Conference All-Star coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that's nice about that is, well, first of all, it should be Ty Lue, but the way the rules work, then it's the next best record because he did it last year. But what's nice about it is there's no politics in it. There's no subjectivity. It's what your team has accomplished, and that's, you know, a credit to the players in the locker room. You know, it's almost a little bit. I almost feel bad that I'm the one that's going. I'd rather have another one or two of those guys playing in it, and but you know, our staff will really enjoy it, and our staff's kids will really enjoy it, and you know, we'll go from there.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Brady on a minutes restriction for New Orleans?
I've been updated on the standings every morning for a couple weeks now.
Coach, you just touched on a little bit about your assistant coaches. Talk a little bit about just what they have meant to this program, from where you guys started to where you guys are now, where you're in position to coach an all-star team.
Well, I think, you know, none of us are crazy enough to think you get there without, you know, really good players, and the players certainly carry the coaches. That's been the way it's always been. And but with regard to the staff, I think our staff works really hard. I've said before that I've tried to prioritize hiring humble, hardworking, and intelligent people. And they come every day. They work really hard. They do a lot behind the scenes. They put in a lot of time and effort. And so it's nice that they're going to be a part of that as well.
Brad, I know you have bigger fish to fry, but what advice would you give someone who's about to take a job at Applebee's to pursue their goals?
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, there's two things. Number one, you're trying to get a start, and you're trying to figure out what you like in life and what you want to do, and then you're trying to have a little bit of money. And so, it made a lot of sense at the time. I never started at Applebee's. I probably wouldn't have lasted very long anyways.
Coach, talk about Terry, the way he's been filling the void for Avery.
Yeah, I mean, I think Terry, Jalen, you know, Gerald Green didn't play tonight, but he's been really good, I think, when he's played. But Terry and Jalen have been, you know, this stretch of games has been huge for them. Because it's given them more opportunity with, you know, one of our best players out. And, you know, we never know exactly how we're going to end the game because, from a lineup standpoint, because, you know, both of those guys have shown, you know, continued promise. Yeah, I mean, they're both playing with more confidence, and I think that that's part of, you know, you know, Terry went through that stretch where he didn't play as much, where we were posting Marcus, and, you know, we're still doing that some, even when he's at the 2, and we've done it a couple games where he hadn't played very much. But, you know, early in the year, both of those guys have played a lot of minutes for young guys, you know, and so, you know, this is good, but, you know, it's probably been pretty helpful to have some experience leading up to this.
It's now 6 straight for you, Brad. That's a season high, and it wasn't a gimme game given the Lakers' record not being that great of a team. But what made this one? What made you guys have to fight the entire 48 in this one? What did the Lakers do that gave you some trouble?
No, it's hard to win. It's hard to win in the NBA. I mean, the Lakers, it's been, you know, they get beat by 7 or 8 last night at Washington. They got beat by 8 at Utah. Those two teams are really good teams. The Lakers have already beaten multiple teams with winning records, including Golden State, and that's a really talented, young, well-coached team. And so you have to play well no matter what to win in this league. It's really hard to win.
Coach, can you just touch on the impact that Marcus Smart had?
Yeah, I thought he was the most – I thought he was probably the one individual you could single out in that first quarter that got us headed in the right direction because his defense changed our defense. You know, we had given up 21 points at the 5:24 mark of the first quarter, and then Marcus came in and got he led the break off 3 of his own steals. So, that was huge. And we need to start better defensively than we did. That's something we'll have to address. But Marcus, that's what Marcus can bring us, right, is that energy and that very versatile defensive and offensive player off the bench.
Isaiah, I mean, he did it again. Talk about, I mean, the consistency, high level.
Yeah, and he not only did it again. I mean, he had he made a couple of really nice passes out of the blitz too. They junked it up with him. They tried to blitz him off the pick and roll. They switched it a little bit. They tried to blitz him late without a pick and roll. So they were really active, and he had to read a bunch. And we tried to space the floor appropriately and play around him. And he made a couple nice reads to Al. He made a quick kick across the court to Marcus. And those led to baskets because, when you're getting blitzed like that, you have to get rid of it quickly. So he's done a good job of reading whatever defense people throw at him, but he's seen them all now. I mean, he just has to be able to read it and adjust on the fly.